So then, this week's Movie Buff, we have a comedy horror starring Jennifer Ellison to make you squirm. We're going back in time with 10,000 BC and get ready to check out Billy Ray Cyrus's daughter Miley Cyrus on the big screen.
Take one dark night, a creepy house, add a psychopathic farmer, and you get new comedy horror The Cottage. Lord of the Rings' Andy Serkis stars alongside League of Gentlemen actor Reece Shearsmith as a pair of brothers who manage to bungle a perfect-on-paper kidnapping.
Listen, if she's asleep, I suggest we be as quiet as possible so we keep it that way.
But before you run for the hills thinking that this is your average gore-fest, Reece says think again.
This is different for a horror film because you kind of get to know the characters a bit before we get them slaughtered. And then hopefully you'll care, and then these horrible things happen to us.
And horrible things do happen to them. In fact, Brookside star and in this film our hostage Jennifer Ellison has quite a nasty run-in with an axe. On the upside, that did leave Jen with an unusual request when it came to picking a prop to take home.
I want my head, but I don't know if I'm going to get it because I don't know what they're going to do with it. But at first they were telling me it was because of reshoots, but now there's definitely no reshoots, so I'm going to see if I can have my head.
So prepare to spill your popcorn because Andy can guarantee a fright.
I've been in cinemas watching, when we've introduced the film, where there have been people squirming in their seats watching some of this, which I think is great. If you can make someone do that, then that's pretty powerful filmmaking.
And this film certainly shows a different side to Jennifer, who may have spent hours in makeup, but it was nothing to do with looking good. It was all about making a fake body double to ensure any injuries weren't inflicted on her, although that was after she'd gone through the horror of making it.
They started with my head, which was totally covered, and because obviously there's a nose, there was no my nose, no breathing. It was horrible, it was awful, and I'm so claustrophobic as well, so that was a challenge in itself, and obviously you've got to leave it to set, and then they peel it off. And then the full body one, it took all day. It was awful, actually. It was actually scarier than watching the film.
Before you splash out on a family ticket to see The Cottage, though, a word of warning. Scary man with sharp instruments aside, the potty mouth of Miss Ellison leaves a lot to be desired.
Well, every day on set we were subjected to her, foul tongue. In fact, when we went to Liverpool for the opening of the film, she personally apologised to her grandmother.
It's already conquered both the US and worldwide box office. Despite being panned by the critics, prehistoric epic 10,000 BC follows a tribesman's quest to free his love interest from slave raiders in primeval times. The film's directed by Roland Emmerich. He's the man behind Independence Day, and although the movie's had some terrible reviews, it's not stopped the money from flowing in. Now, although it looks impressive on paper and in parts on screen, we're just going to have to join the other dissenting voices and tell you it's really not that good. The script's dire, and it's hard not to feel sorry for the actors who had the impossible task of reciting their lines without either laughing or wincing.
It wasn't so long ago that Hilary Duff, Lindsay Lohan and even Britney were teen queens. But that crown has almost certainly passed to Miley Cyrus. She's the daughter of achy breaky heart star Billy Ray and is cementing her mega stardom with a new movie. Hannah Montana and Miley Cyrus, best of both worlds, sees the singer assuming the two roles that she combines in her Disney TV series, that of a schoolgirl by day and famous pop singer at night. The 3D feature was all filmed on her 69-city tour of the States last year. She hasn't hit the road internationally yet, so her fans in other countries may be feeling a little left out, and it seems they're not afraid to let her know it.
A lot of them are actually a part of my website, which is totally crazy because I'll get a message one day from like Argentina, then I'll get a message from all these different, crazy places, Germany, everywhere. So it's really crazy to have these people that are like networking within my website.
So what sets this child star apart from most of her peers? Well, she writes her own songs. And for the talented Miss Miley, it all comes pretty naturally.
It's like an easy process. I mean, for me, some people would think it's hard. I mean, it just depends the way you do it. I mean, I'll start out with sometimes a melody on my guitar and then put lyrics to it, or I'll have an idea and have lyrics and then try to work it out. I mean, it just all kind of depends. I think just to have inspiration is the most important part of it.
It's already taken over £16 million in the States, despite only being released in limited cinemas. Still not getting the appeal? Well, being down with the kids like this starlet apparently has something to do with keeping it real.
I think it's because of like the reality of it. I mean, you also get to see that a lot in the 30 movie, which is cool, but not only with that and not only with the show, but I mean within interviews and within everything, you can just see all, you can really see all that I am and all that I want to be. So I think that's what, I mean, just not being too conservative, where it's like, you know, she doesn't have any spice, or she doesn't have any, like, you know, fun within her, but I think still, you know, you can be cool and you can be crazy and fun and loud and do what you want to do, but also you just gotta do it where you're still being responsible.
Well, that's good to hear. Let's just hope young Miley can make the trip to the top and learn from her predecessors by avoiding a stint or two in rehab.
What a selection, hey cinema lovers. That's it. That's your lot from Movie Buff.